Good evening, darlings and deviants. My name is Lucy and I'm just a little loony. You know, sometimes it's cool to imagine that your commander is giving you advice during a game, a legendary figure that you're helping lead an army into battle with, or crafting the correct sequence of spells to slap some fools. But what if that was a car, though? That's right, with the new commander rules change, legendary vehicles can now be your commander, no questions asked. There's a lot to be said about the whys and the why nots of the change, but I like having more options for building decks, and people wanted something like this so bad they printed Shorakai back in Neon Dynasty, and really it's high time that Gundam had some friends. So today, I want to go over the new rule a little bit, and some of the fun options unlocked by Wizards giving us the keys to some brand new decks. Without further ado, let's start the show. So, in essence, the rules change is pretty simple. Legendary vehicles are allowed to be your commander now. It's weird how we got this before illegal planeswalkers across the board, but hey, I'll keep my picket sign ready to go. On the one hand, it's a bit scary because vehicles are a bit harder to remove than your average creature, so it's going to be a bit rough if the vehicle in question has a really awesome passive effect that doesn't really need to be crewed in order to function and make the deck work. On the other hand, artifact removal is everywhere really, and WotC is strapping artifact destruction on every other modal card nowadays, and if the vehicle does need to become a creature, then all your creature removal works again, and there's nothing really to worry about. While the options this new rule opens up aren't super expansive right now, since a lot of the options are either monocolored or colorless, we really don't have that many options for deck construction. There's only 3 multicolored options, one of which could already have been your commander, so it's not exactly a new one, you know? It's more of a pre-owned. There's a few motor cars that pique my interest really, and honestly they don't really have motors. Weird how that works, huh? First off is Ezeka's Chariot. A good card already in tokeny green decks, putting this chariot in your command zone lets you build a neat variation of your typical token deck. Ezeka's Chariot is 3 and a green for a legendary 4/4 vehicle with crew 4, which is a pretty steep crew cost, but it comes with 2 fluffy 2/2 cats to help you with that. The real spice is when the chariot attacks, letting you copy a token you control. Normally, you're playing this to help a go wide strategy, but if it's in your command zone, we can do some pretty nifty things. For one, we can play Helm of the Host and copy any number of awesome green creatures, or we can play cards like Tumbleweed Rising to make a huge elemental and copy it over and over again. There's plenty of ways to copy huge green tokens, so having access to a token copier in the command zone is pretty cool if a bit, well, uninspired. On a bit of the more potentially competitive decks, we have the Indomitable. For 2 and 2 blue, you get a 6/6 trampling legendary vehicle with crew 3, but honestly, we never really need to crew it, because this card is Coastal Piracy on a pirate ship. The flavor is so good I can almost taste the scurvy. Coastal Piracy, for those unaware, is an enchantment that has the same mana cost and effect. Every time a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Now, you'll note that I didn't say 1 or more creatures. That means every creature you attack with that deals combat damage draws you a card. This effect opens up another commander option for the popular Flying Man archetype. Flying Man is, if you don't know, a 1/1 human for 1 that, you guessed it, has flying. This archetype typically plays a lot of these effects, cheap flyers with questionable power, pretty low toughness, but it doesn't matter because they have evasion and they draw a lot of cards. Typically, decks like these get backed up by extra turn spells and counter magic. It's not exactly a super fun deck for your opponents, but you'll be having a lot of fun, and just hope they didn't really pack their Sky Slashers nowadays. If you don't want to play the extra turn effects or any of that, you can just draw your deck out. Don't play Thassa's Oracle maybe, but you can play a Lab Band. That's probably fine, right? Or just play a lot of counterspells. I don't know. I'm not your mom. Finally, I'm really interested to try out the Regalia from the new Final Fantasy set. For 4 generic mana, you get a legendary 4/4 vehicle with crew 1 and haste. When the Regalia attacks, you exile cards until you hit a land, and then you put that land into play, and the rest on the bottom. While there are strictly better colorless commanders nowadays, especially one in the Final Fantasy set, Ultima is probably pretty good. This kind of lets these decks play without massive amounts of ramp, so you can have some more like tech options, and you can have a solid piece of ramp in the command zone. While I think the deck still kind of turns into Big Eldrazi Unga Bunga or Big Artifacts Unga Bunga, I think it's a little bit less assuming than a lot of the other options that can be in the command zone at this, like, in these color combinations. Meaning you don't have 3 sniper sightlines locked onto your board state the second the game starts. Sadly, we can't put any of the Final Fantasy 15 boys in there, but c'est la vie. Anyway, that's all I've got. Real quick, I just wanted to say hi to all the people who subscribed after seeing me at MagicCon. This is what I normally look like when I'm not strapped into my meat suit. It's kinda stuffy in there. Speaking of suits, how do you think this new rule suits the format? While the cynical take is that they're just trying to open up the command zone to more cards for universes beyond, I don't really mind the extra options, and honestly, it could, yeah, I don't care. Like, we have more options, legendaries are cool, and that new spaceship from Edge of Eternities looks really cool. But let me know what you think. Do you like this new change? Are you also baffled Planeswalkers dodge the command zone once again? Are you planning on building any cool decks with vehicles at the helm? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you all so very much for watching, and until next time, au revoir!